Let's refine it further. Let's refine it further.
We'll make it mad, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch, where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Matt. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch with Mike and Matt. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Let's refine it further.
We Mike and Matt, lead the way.
Let's refine it further.
We're here to stay. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, with Mike and Matt. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Let's refine it further. Let's refine it further.
Always on track. We'll make it back. With the clutch, double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to Double Clutch. What's up, homie?
Yeah, boy, what's happening, man? What's happening, everybody? What's good? What's up? Beautiful Saturday, man. Yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be here, excited about the topic that we're about to dive into. Yeah, man, it's good.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a real good one, man. So what's been going on with you this weekend?
Man, just been I had 2 clutches drop this week. Had a clutch hatch out, start to hatch. I had some ovulations happen this week. Got another clutch that's supposed to be dropping in like 3 days. And man, it's just been busy, bro. Been a busy week. Of course, you know, the full-time job stuff has been busy, but the snake stuff has been crazy busy. I had to install I was running my rat room on the AC, but it just wasn't doing the work for me. So I switched over. I saw a video from Rice Reptiles, their rat room video. I don't know if you've seen it, but so they put out a rat room video a few weeks ago, and I watched that. And they have. I know you've seen Canova's set up with the rat room as far as the funnel, or the air wind tunnel type deal that they got going. Where they got the fans pulling from one side, with the exhaust fans, and then the shutters on the other side. So basically, I got rid of the AC, covered that hole up, and then put some vents on one side, and then put a bunch of exhaust fans. Right now, I got 3 on there. I'm seeing how the 3 work right now. It's pulling good air through. I mean, it still gets hot in there. Like the other day was 95, and it got up to 90, but it's just that airflow that keeps them cool, and you know what I'm saying. So it's summertime, man. Got to start doing something because these animals, they'll just stop breeding on you. These rodents, man.
Yeah, for sure. I had an issue with my AC 2-3 weeks back, and it got real hot in my rodent room because it's all those rodents in there, their body heat and whatnot. And they really had a tough time of it. And I did notice, like, I hadn't been having like good production the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's just really the cycle of things or if that had something to do with it. But it's back, it's fixed now, and airflow in there good. Like you can tell the difference. Like the second you walk in there, you can feel the difference in terms of like the humidity and whatnot, and just the overall airflow. I've got fans in there that's blowing, but when that AC was messed up, like those fans, we can't do nothing for you, dog.
And yours is enclosed. It's all enclosed, huh?
Yeah.
So that's man. I'm telling you, it is a huge. I mean, I was running the AC in mine or whatever, and it was helping out until but we get, man, this coming up week is supposed to be 95 the whole week. So and between 90 and 95. And this dry heat, it ain't humidity like what y'all got, but it's dry heat, and it's just I can't stand it. And these rodents, you know, they get hot. They get to land on the tub, the side of the tub, trying to find some kind of cool spot.
Yeah,
They get to kicking all the bedding out the tub, trying to, you know what I'm saying? They like, nah, get all this. It's like trying to kick off the covers at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, get all this stuff off me, man. So yeah, man, I'm just trying to make it comfortable for them, man. You know, so shoot, the homie hit me up this past week. I was telling you, but he told me it got 95 over there where he at, and
who?
Rich.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Big shout out to Rich. I see you.
Yeah. He said it got
yeah.
Oh yeah. The homie. Yeah. Capital City. Matter of fact, he been in the show right now in Cali, I believe. He over in Cali been in the show right now. But yeah, he said it got super hot in his, and his AC wasn't working, and he lost like a lot of rodents, like a whole lot of rodents. And so it's unfortunate, man. And that's definitely gonna be a topic that we gotta, you know, touch later on at some point, because I feel like my breeding for those guys changes during the summer versus the winter for me here, because it's either snowing or it's hecka hot, one of the two.
Yeah, we definitely have to tap into that.
Yeah.
I know mine don't change as much just because of the setup, but I definitely want to hear about that.
Yeah, because I know I could get away with a lot in the tub during the wintertime. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the heater just keeps it right at 75, or it's down to 70 because it's too cold outside. But in the summertime, man, them hot bodies in there, I try to, as soon as they look winged, I'm pulling them. I'm pulling them, man. I'm trying to keep that ratio down in there for sure.
For sure. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I see you. Appreciate you, Kane. You right on time. Appreciate you with the super chat. DC Squad. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all checking out the Double Clutch Patreon. We got good people like the homie Kane in there, man. We have a good time. We got a call this Tuesday, right? Zoom call.
Yeah, this Tuesday. Yep.
Yeah, man. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with us, man. It's stow credit for the animals. Your Patreon dues is basically setting you up an account, and the store credit gets split 50-50 with me and the homie Matt. We got other perks in there. We got the Zoom calls, we got the IG chat, the Discord, the whole nine. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with us on the Double Clutch Patreon. Join us today. And also make sure you tapping in with the homies over there at Husbandry.Pro. Use promo code DC Squad 60 to get 60 days free. That goes for new customers, and that goes for inactive. Inactive being defined as inactive for 6 months or more. So definitely tap in. And if you're in the Patreon, you get an additional discount on top of that. So just one more reason to join the Double Clutch Patreon. And make sure you support all the Herp Collectors Network shows. You see them there, man. You see the days. Definitely tap in with us, man. Everybody doing their thing, man. I'm really, really happy and thrilled to see how the network is growing, man. I just can't articulate that enough.
Yeah, it's like ESPN 1, 2, 3, and 4 up on that joke. It's crazy. It's crazy what it's come to, man. It's crazy.
Y'all make sure y'all tap in with Morph Map tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They got Moose from Great Balls of Fire, and they got Troy from Best Dressed Balls. They're talking about Redhead.
Oh, nice. Is Troy still breeding?
Yeah. You know, he's still doing his thing.
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought he was strictly onto the show game now and hosting the shows. I didn't know he was still doing his thing on the breeding circuit. So that's cool. That's what's up.
Yeah, man, he grinding for sure. Yeah, man. So Keys actually asked a really good question in the comments there. What we consider power feed, and that's the first thing we wanted to talk about in terms of set a baseline so folks can see where we coming from with power feed. And 20 people was power feeding, you probably gonna get 20 different answers, right?
For sure.
I think different people look at it different ways, and like from my perspective, I as a breeder, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I as a breeder, like I understand like it's certain snakes in your breeding collection that you're gonna feed more than others because you are trying to get them up to size as quick as possible, but as safely as possible too. And I feel like it's a line you can cross, when you just going crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you can feed them a little bit more to, you know what I'm saying, like get them to grow some. But when you start going like 3, 4 times a week, snake looking like sausage at the back all the time, like you can clearly see that this animal is getting power fed. This animal is not in healthy conditions. You touch it, it's kind of squishy as opposed to like firm and stuff like that. Like to me, that's power feed when you just taking it overboard. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. It's man. My thoughts are like I don't want to get ahead of the conversation because my thoughts are so, there's different stages. You know what I'm saying in the snake, and so I don't want to get too in depth with it. But like for me, it's knowing the animals, right? When it comes to power feeding, I do have some hatchlings that I kid you not will take 3 meals a week. If I give them 3 meals a week, they will take 3 meals a week. Um, Shoot, they might even take more. But it's knowing that when that snake is, for me, the definition, like when that snake is doodling and eating at the same time, dang near, it's like, to me, you're just, it doesn't, you're not giving the snake's body time to digest anything. Um, and, and when you start to see, you know, undigested rodent parts in the fecal matter of the animal, to me, it's saying, okay, you might need to back off some. The animal's not even digesting all of its food properly. But yeah, man, I mean, it's
Big
such a
time.
ride, such a wide range, man. I mean, like you know, even even what Ash was saying, and I mean, like with his comment, like we would ridicule people if they were to show a captive adult with the same disposition as a wild animal. You know what I'm saying? So, because our animals are just going to be much more girthier and bigger, and
Right, right,
you
naturally
know, yeah, not you know what I'm saying. So, uh, I,
or unnaturally, depending on how you want to look
right, depending on how you look at it.
at it.
So, you know, this thing is crazy. You know, it, yeah. I guess my definition would be like there's really is no real definition. It's knowing your animals, but there is such thing as power feeding. And I mean, man, let's get into, you know, if it is good or is everybody doing it now or whatever, because I know we both came in at the same time. And I don't know how you feel, but I feel like when we came in, it was it was hidden behind the scenes, right? We had a lot of people preaching at that time. No power feeding, once every week at most, maybe every 10 to 14 days. You know what I'm saying? I remember watching Billy was he used to harp on that like 10 to 14 days. That's what I'm feeding my females once a week, 10 to 14 days, still getting clutches. And you know,
Remember, I tried that.
I'm did you try it?
Yeah, I tried it for a little bit.
That's right. Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because I heard the same like things you were hearing, and I
yeah.
remember Dr. Warren Booth was on there, and he was talking about like
Right.
the digestive process for the ball pythons, and I think really just snakes in general, right? So
Yeah.
I do caveat this: I'm not a scientist. I haven't like done like the research to be qualified to have like the exact, you know what I'm saying, scientific breakdown on it. But I'm gonna tell you how I remember it. But basically, you know what I'm saying, when they eat, like their body like kicks into this digestion mode, and it causes like their blood to get thicker and stuff. Like it's just really a stressful process on them, you know what I'm saying, in terms of exertion of energy uh digest the prey item, right?
Right.
And so he was talking about the benefits of not power feeding and not feeding as often to give their bodies an opportunity to go through that process and then recover properly before you're like shoving another rodent in their face.
Hmm. Yeah. That I mean, and it makes a lot of sense. Like I mean, even the human body, I don't feel like some days I'll wake up, do my workout at 5 in the morning, not eat until 1, and eat my lunch, and then not eat again all day long. Like the body, you know, even as people, I don't think we're meant to digest all the food that we do. Like we can definitely go longer than what it is we think we do, or can. But in this hobby that we're in, when it is a race to the next gene and so forth. I feel like a lot of people are going to push their animals to those limits. Um, I know. Have you ever had to do that? Have you ever just not fed like for that? I mean, other than that time, the 10 to 14 days that you was trying for Billy, did it work out for you? Like, how did your females react to
Josh, you got to rewind. We already defined power feeding, bro. Got to get him on time with the rest of them,
that? Come on, come on. Oh man, Mister Man too.
I didn't do it for a long time, right? And
No,
only,
okay.
yeah, I only did it for I don't know, maybe 6 to 9 months or something like that. Like I
Okay.
was going every other week with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, and that was that before your first season, or no, that wasn't before your first season, huh? You was
It was before like I got into producing like several clutches a year.
okay.
Yeah,
So there really
yeah.
wasn't like a something to compare it to.
Right, exactly.
Versus, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Because like I was telling you, the one time, I mean, mine wasn't on purpose, but it was. I ended up taking a month off because it got hecka hot. My rotors was in the garage. All production basically stopped. So I didn't feed for a whole month, the month of August. And I don't really know. I know when I started back feeding again, they was going crazy, and nobody went off of food and stopped until they was ready to lay clutches and this, that, and the third. But I didn't really have anything to compare it to, whether that cycle helped them get off some waste or get off some extra fat or whatever. Um, I don't. It was something that that was intriguing to me because I was being forced into doing it, and it was around that time when all those videos was being pushed out. Like I remember a video of them cutting the bird. Like I think Elias was talking about the big snakes. I remember a video of them cutting open the bird. Somebody cutting open the Burmese and showing the fatty liver. You know what I'm saying inside of the Burmese, because big snakes are prone to be overfed. Everybody wants them to be fed hecka fast and get big and that. Like my Burm, she's what is she? I got her when she was 4 years old. So she's 6 years old now, just about 6 years old. And she's 8 feet. And I was told that she's too small. Like you know what I'm saying? But she is about this thick around and heavy enough for me. And like, you know what I'm saying? So and she eats once a month, but I don't breed her though. So it's, if there's power feeding, I mean, I wouldn't call it power feeding, but I mean, I guess it's really in the eye of the beholder, Um, do you think though that it was? Do you think that like that the bigger breeders are out there power feeding their animals, or I'm not even saying bigger breeders, even smaller guys like us? Do you think more people are starting to power feed versus just feeding their animals on that 1 week, 14 days, however it is?
I think it's a lot of people that's probably feeding as much as they can. Have they crossed over into like the realm of power feeding? I don't know. I'm sure some that have, some that haven't. There are incentives to grow your animal as fast as possible. Like, let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Especially if you breed, and potentially if you breed, you know what I'm saying, to stay ahead of the game, if you breed for financial gain, like all those kind of things. Power feeding can be viewed as a means to end to kind of keep you ahead of stuff like that, right? Because in theory, the quicker your animal get up to breeding size, right, then the quicker it can breed, which means the quicker you can have clutches, which means the quicker you can progress your projects, which means the quicker you can have cash flow come in. And so all those things that go along with it. So yeah, it's definitely some people out there power feeding. But then you ask, like, someone could look at what I'm doing and say, oh, you power feed. And right now I feed once a week. And then it's some that get fed twice a week sometimes, you know what I mean? But then I also skip weeks, right? Like I still skip weeks too, for various reasons. Like if I want to, like, if I'm looking at my inventory and say, hey, I want to kind of like control that a little bit, like that might be a reason why I don't feed that week. Or maybe it's like a rough week and I got a whole bunch of stuff going on, you know what I mean? That can be an opportunity to save some time by not feeding that week, you know what I mean? But I feel like it probably balance out all through the year, if that makes sense. But I do feed regularly because I don't want my snakes hungry, and I do want them to grow at a reasonable rate.
Yeah. What I'm wondering what way Kane is talking about. Is he talking about the once every 10 to 14 when he's talking about his way of breeding? I
I
didn't
don't
see his
know.
comment.
But to
'Cause that,
clarify on the Billy method, like I said, I did it for about 6, maybe 9 months,
yeah,
probably closer to the 6 month side of the spectrum. I didn't really like it. Like it did work in the sense that, hey, that was one less thing I had to do that week. You know what I mean? And then the cleanup, it was a lot faster because obviously if they're eating, it's less waste, stuff like that. But I
yeah,
really didn't see the growth that I was expecting. You know what I mean?
right, yeah,
And I can't even remember if my snakes ate better like doing that method or not. I can't remember. I remember Billy saying, man, they come out the tub when you feed them every other week because they're so hungry and all that. I can't remember if that was the case for me.
yeah, yeah. And this man, I mean, it, like just even watching the conversation in the comments, it just shows you like it's all in. Especially when it comes to the ball python game that we're in, it's all in the
In the eye of the
over.
beholder.
Right, it's all in the eye of the like some are saying, you know what I'm saying, why can't ball pythons be overfed? Then some are saying you can't overfeed a ball python because they're not going to eat when they're not hungry. You know what I'm saying? And I have so my first experience of experiencing the negative of power feeding was I had first got what was she? Leopard. She was a leopard blade clown, and when at the time I got her, she was like top 5 female in my collection. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to get this female big and big fast. She was getting 2 rats a week. She got up to 1,100 grams and did not eat for 9 months after that. Like she just went on a complete like I ain't touching nothing. I don't want nothing. Don't put it in here. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was because she might have built up some fat reserves, you know, and she was just like, I've done all I can. I've digested all I can, you know, and this, that, and the other. And it is different for different species, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's different for different species, man. Other species are more black people more prone to diabetes than other. You know what I'm saying? Like, like
Hey,
we are.
babe, bring a last comment back up.
What was the last comment? So y'all ball pythons are smart as hell. Oh gosh, it's you know it is, but that's what I'm saying. Overfed, I don't think so. I think I have ill effects. That's more. Yeah, I mean, it. Like I said, it's really in you know what I'm saying and what you think because I'm sure there's some ball pythons on the autopsy that got some fat cells off the yang on their body because you got. I mean, you think about it. There ain't much movement you could do on this 3 foot by 18-inch tub that they in. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got more than 10 snakes, you ain't taking them out for them to get daily exercise. So, yeah, man, it really
So do you think diet plays a part in that?
the diet or what?
The diet, like
Yeah.
different, different prey. Also how the prey is raised too. I think that's big.
Yes. Yeah. I will say that because I've even noticed like my mice on. I stopped giving sunflower seeds and switched over to like this grain mix that had a few sunflower seeds in it, and I've noticed that my mice are a little bit leaner. The sunflower seeds do have a lot of like fatty oils and stuff in them, so it does make them give them that extra fat. But yeah, the prey item that you give for sure is going to play an effect. You know, have an effect on your snake's growth and your snake's fat to lean muscle ratio. I mean, you know, we eat ice cream, we get fat. We eat lean meats like beef and chicken, then we, you know what I'm saying, we slim up, you know. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like I like it's hard to say that there's power feeding. And then it's hard to say that it's not, but the industry has moved in my eyes over the last 2 years from when we first came in 2019-20 to saying do not feed your snakes more than once a week. Do not, you know what I'm saying, all this other to feed how you can, when you can, whenever they even look at you to eat, feed them. Why do you think? Do you feel that same way?
Do you think that's been an industry shift, or do you think it's been a shift with the people who you heard that from?
So I think it's been okay. So I would say it's been both. It's been a shift in the industry overall because some of the leaders of the industry have finally voiced it. But I feel like the leaders of the industry were already doing it to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the rest of us were on the once every 10 to 14 days while I'm watching videos of the uh, always evolvings or the Canovas or Levance has always been straight up like, hey, I feed my girls if they give me the wink, I'm feeding them. He ain't never shied away from, and he'll tell you straight up, hey, my girls want 5, 6 mice. That's what they're gonna get. Like that it is what it is. I feed them. So it's like, but I don't necessarily think that the Canovas and I'm not saying Canova and Miguel and them were saying don't do it, like don't feed more than once a week. But I think once they're, you know what I'm saying, there were more on YouTube and they started putting out like their, not their secrets, but like the way that they do things, people started catching on and saying, shoot, you know, Miguel will cut a clutch in April of 2025. And by 2026, April, that same female is dang near breeding. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, like these animals can do it. I don't know if it's necessarily healthy for them because the shelf life of a breeder, that animal may be with you for 5, 6 years, you know? So I don't know if they're going to live a 30-year life. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely right about that, Josh. That people start, and that, and I'll just say it, but that's even, I looked up on, I was telling Mike in the background, I looked up on Chat GTP because Chat GTP, you know what I'm saying, they do know a lot, I guess. But their feeding recommendations for ball pythons on Chat GTP was, I'm gonna read this to y'all so y'all know I ain't lying. It's right here. It's right there. But Chat GTP says from 0 to 6 months, every 5 to 7 days. So basically, twice, you're getting in 3 feedings in 2 weeks, pretty much. Then juveniles, 7 to 10 days. That's 6 months to a year, 7 to 10 days. Now, this is where it gets kind of tricky at because subadults from a year to 3 years is 10 to every 14 days. And anything over 3 years is every 14 to 21 days. That's what
I don't do that. I don't do that. If that's the baseline, if that's the baseline,
we all power feed.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do that at all.
Yeah.
I do feed smaller meals though. I will say that.
And so you feed smaller meals more frequently, or is it smaller meals like for me, my babies, I do feed them twice a week. Sunday, Wednesday, the babies eat. But it is a smaller meal. But for my adults, I feed them once a week, but I'll feed them smaller meals, but they'll get more than one if they want more than one.
So we're not necessarily telling nobody how to feed. In fact, we aren't, like, beyond the shadow of a doubt telling anybody how to feed. We're just having a discussion.
Yeah. I don't. I hope that was a name that me, because if I led you to think that I was trying to tell you what to do, please don't think that. You do what you want to do. Them your animals. Yeah.
But yeah, what was I about to say? So just because I feed primarily ASF, right? And so by default, ASF's smaller anyway. Like they're not huge. Really, my only like really big ASFs are typically like retired breeders. You know what I mean? Because I mean, some of them mamas be big. Some of them, even some of them retired sires be big. You know what I mean? And so like I'll feed those to bigger snakes, or like my boas and carpet pythons and stuff like that. So in general, they're smaller anyway, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't noticed like any difference of growth from switching from rats to switching to ASFs. If I've noticed anything, I feel like maybe they grow a little bit better. Body composition feels a little bit better, and that could be a function of the ASFs, or it could be a function of the controlled diet, right? Because I don't because I still do get rats, and when I was getting rats, my rats, I was basically going to a rat hub, right, where a guy he's got a operation, and he orders from multiple, you know what I mean, rat
Yeah.
producers, right? And so he getting all those animals in, and then like divvying them up based on the orders that he's received for that week, and then you come pick up your rats or whatnot. And so my rats was probably coming from like 2 or 3 different sources, and I don't know what those people were feeding the rats, but I do know what I'm feeding the ASFs. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that could be part of it too, just because they're eating a higher quality rodent by virtue of the diet and whatnot that we feed them.
Right. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Like I said, I mean, I'm not really a grass fed guy. You know what I'm saying? My wife be trying to get grass fed stuff. Well, all them cows out there eating corn. Unless we feeding it ourselves, they eating corn and grass when they can get outside. But no, that makes a lot of sense, man. Which is part of the reason why I started breeding my own, because I don't trust what other people are feeding their rodents unless I know what they're feeding, exactly what they're feeding their rodents. Especially like pet stores and stuff, you never know. What
I don't even know how we got down that rabbit hole, but
yeah,
What were you saying? What was the question?
No. The question. So that question was, what was we talking about as far as the overfeeding being like a part of, or the industry moving towards accepting overfeeding, kind of in a way, because I feel like the industry has moved, and I don't know if I could really call it overfeeding. You know what I'm saying? But that shift in the industry moving towards feeding your animal what they want, when they want, how they want it, however many times they want it. You know what I'm saying? When did you see that shift start to happen? I think that was the question I was asking for you to answer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I feel like we talking about maybe 2 different things, because I feel like, and you touched on this, right? It's always been that way. I do feel like we talked about more openly now. I do feel like that, and that's been a few years now, I feel like. But that's been a thing ever since I got into the industry back in 2020. You would hear and see people talking about power feeding and don't power feed, stuff like that. But I do hear a lot more people talking about it openly now. And I do feel like it's 2 different use cases, right? Like, if you're just keeping a ball python for a pet versus if you're keeping a ball python to breed, you have different plans for that animal. It's like an athlete, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm not gonna eat the same thing that I almost said LeBron, but I want to think of an athlete.
You cold for that. You cold. Oh man.
But yeah, I don't have the same dietary needs as
Right.
a professional athlete, you know what I mean? And so I feel like that's got to be factored into it too.
Yeah, and yeah, that does have to, because the babies that come out, I mean, it's just like, a baby that comes out of the womb. That baby's eating 24/7, eating and sleeping, eating and sleeping. That's the same with these baby snakes. They eat and then they go in the corner and chill, and then eat again in a few more days and go in the corner and chill, because their metabolism is, working at a much faster rate than it is as an adult.
Right.
And even ChatGPT know that. So it's and then when you're talking about females that were breeding, like, shoot, I had a female, she's at 27 millimeters right now, and she threw down 4 the other day, and it was, to me, it just hit me as, yep, she got to build follicles. You know what I'm saying? At no point did it cross my mind like, oh shoot, I might be overfeeding her right now. Nah, she got to build these follicles if I want babies. What did he say? Let's review if you drop 5K on the female. Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean,
So here, hot seat question.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, so we talked about how there's a incentive to get the animal up to size because of the financial investment and because of the expected ROI on that animal, and also just staying ahead in the project. Do you feel like shed testing has put pressures on the need or desire to power feed? Because we talk a lot about how shed testing has sped up the industry.
Yeah.
Is power feeding exempt, or does that add pressure?
Oh man, if I have something like that clutch I was showing y'all, sent y'all the picture of today. If that's a female Cypress Inchy Hypo double head desert ghost clown, the minute she shed out, I got to test her shed to see if she's head clown. But if she proves out to be head clown, then she's sitting in the rack. If I test her and she proves that, yeah, she's that is going to trigger. Okay, yeah, she might go from 2 meals a week to 3 meals if she want to take it. I don't know if necessarily
the program.
Yeah. It's a I don't like. Yeah, it is. If I but and even shed testing that it does. But even without it, honestly, I feel like it would be the same because I'm just growing her up as quick as I can to try to prove whether or not she is what I hold her back to be. There is, and again, what Bosa said that feed accordingly, but that accordingly is your accordingly. It's not everybody's accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Like what I feed and I feel is right to feed is not going to line up with what Mike feels to feed is the right way to feed. You know what I'm saying? He might have a whole different program of feeding on what he does. I do feel like you could get a ball python if fed the right meals, the right size meals, once a week, every 7 days, that you can have that female still breeding in 3 years. Now, for the guys that's doing 18 months and she's on eggs at 2 years old, that's not happening if you feed them once a week.
No, not at all.
That's that's just not going to happen. But
real quick, that's actually a great place to take a real quick
for
break,
sure.
And we come back and touch on that again.
All right.
Experience the epitome of elegance and excellence with Reagan Renee Rural Pythons. Working projects like DG Krypton and DG Clown, you can place your bets on quality and let Reagan Renee be your winning hand. Expect innovation and unmatched customer service with every interaction. Elevate your collection with the finest quality ball pythons. Visit them on Instagram and Morph Market. Discover the extraordinary at Reagan Renee Rural Pythons.
Step into a world where dreams take shape with Ozzy, a true leader in the reptile industry. Known for unparalleled customer service and a dedication to excellence, Ozzy sets the standard. His cutting-edge projects continue to inspire and push the boundaries of what's possible. Submerge yourself in a future full of possibilities. Join the journey, embrace the innovation, and above all, keep dreaming.
Appreciate you fellas, man. Y'all make sure y'all showing love to the sponsors. And big shout out to the people who be sharing the show on their stories and stuff like that, man. We really appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate it.
One that do it consistently, man. I really appreciate that, bro.
For sure.
Big shout out to Short Tail Sweetie Ashley. She shared the show, and so I was able to share that out during the break. Appreciate all the love, man. And if you hadn't hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. Somebody do a like check for me so we can see where we at.
And she said this was her first time tapping into the show, right? Seeing
word.
Yeah. I think that's what the comment she said earlier, which is dope. And I did see somebody's comment saying something about the judgment going on in the comments. Like, hey, let's keep it. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it friendly, people. We ain't never been a controversial show. We love.
Are you lying about that?
Well, we done talk about some controversial stuff. You know what I'm saying? People scamming people out of money and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But with
we
that
want y'all to love each other.
Yeah. It's all love. It's all love.
Hey, the craziest thing that happened, like in the comments, like it was you remember that ball python pyramid scheme thing that came out?
Yeah.
So we had a show talking about it. It was like me, Winston, Bear, Jason, and somehow, some way in the chat they start talking about dogs and the dog world being a pyramid scheme, and like next thing you know, they was hooking in the comments.
I'm telling you, Man, the comments go crazy, man. But let's love every. You know what I'm saying? Let's love each other, man. That's the only way this community grows, and that's how it stays the best. You know what I'm saying? Um,
And a
but
big
yeah,
shout out to everybody that's supporting us, man. Appreciate
yeah,
y'all
for
rocking with
sure.
us.
We definitely appreciate you. I'm trying to get back to my notes so I can see what else I had on here. Uh, let me see. Was there? Oh man, yeah. Pretty much so. Yeah. I mean, it's really there. The overfeeding thing, like we said, is up to you or what your definition is really. Um, but to
Do
me,
you feel like it's something that the industry will ever come to a consensus on?
no, there's too many variables. There's too
Right.
many different variables. You're dealing with a whole bunch of different people, and anybody that collects snakes is a wacko. You are a whack job from, and I don't care because of the stigma that and the culture, especially in America, the culture of America and how America does snakes and puts them into this box of evilness. Um, in our culture of America, if you are in that box to where you want to keep snakes, you a whack job already. So I don't think there will ever be a consensus like to where we'll come together as a community and be like, all right, guys, this is how we gonna feed, this is how we gonna cut eggs, this is how we gonna breed. No, none of that. It's too many different variables. Um, and that even goes with the animals as far as overfeeding goes. Like I think Josh said on one of his comments, like he got a 900-gram girl at 2 years old, and she's just now breeding at year 5, and he's feeding her the same way that he feeds his other stuff. It just each one in one. So I think he was saying, but it's so many variables with these animals. They all got different personalities, and some of them are gluttons, and they want to eat all day, and some of them, you know what I'm saying, they just take what they. I have a female that has gone for me every year for the last 3 years, and she only eats once every one rodent a week. She doesn't skip a meal. She'll eat even in shed, but she's not one of the, even when she's building, she only wants one rodent. She won't eat two.
Yeah, I feel
So
like some of them are predisposition
yeah,
to eating a lot more than like others, right?
yeah,
Because
for
like you
sure.
said, man, there's some that'll eat just basically every time you offer, and then there's some that'll eat consistently, but they only eat like that one, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then there's some that are problem feeders. And I feel like a lot of that is I feel like some of that is genetic. Obviously, there's like husbandry and stuff like that,
Hmm.
right? But for us, the way we keeping our animals is generally pretty similar from tub to tub with
Yeah.
like with immaterial variation, but generally speaking, fairly similar. You know what I'm saying? They're in
Hmm.
the same room, they're in the same size tub, like all that stuff. Like a lot of that stuff is constant, like from tub to tub is some variation, but generally speaking, is mostly the same. But yet you still have like these different feeding behaviors from different individuals because that's what they are. They are
Yeah.
individuals. It's not like a cookie cutter animal and everything gonna be the exact same.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That you have to take that variable into it, and you know, and know your animals. That was one of the other things I learned from just listening to Levance talk. Was just he always preaching feed the girls and know your animals. You know what I'm saying? Know the signs that they showing, and you know the ones that want to eat more than
Yeah,
just, you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like the ones that's jumping out of the tub every time they even smell something, they want to eat more than, you know what I'm saying. Some of them sit back at the back of the tub for me, and I got to throw the rodent in, and then they'll go ahead and go chase it down and get it. But then
Or even if you open the tub and they do this number.
right, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you.
you know
Don't
what's
worry
up.
about
You
it.
already know what type of time
Don't
she
worry
on
about
when
it.
he on.
Yeah. Have you ever pushed hold on, like, say you have, or have you ever felt the need to say you're in the rodent room and you're feeding, and you didn't get that female, she didn't threw down 3 ASS, and you open the tub just to make sure she ate the last one, and she right there looking for another one. Have you ever had like that because of the whole overfeeding or whatever? Have you ever had that thought in your mind like, oh shoot, let me just hold off on this?
I don't know if I'm like directly linking that to the conversation or discussion about overfeeding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I will cut them off just because I want them to actually digest it and use it. I don't want them just poop it out. You know what I mean? And I feel
Right.
like once you get past a certain point, like I said, I'll feed twice, and it's generally not in the same sitting. But I will feed twice in a week for certain animals during some weeks.
Yeah.
Because I like to space it out because I do want to give them the opportunity to digest it, and I want them to pull as much from that prey item as they possibly can, as opposed to me like just giving them a bunch. They kind of like their digestive system kind of just like half-assing it, and then they pooping out the rest of it. Because to me,
Right.
that's wasteful.
Yeah. And because one of the biggest lies I ever heard is that snakes don't poop big on ASFs like they do rats. Well, I done seen some massive turds on some ASFs. I don't care what nobody say. If you feed them things crazy, that poop is gonna be big if they ain't digesting it. Yeah, no, I mean I agree with you. I don't think I've ever pushed pause on the feeding. Due to that, like the thought of, oh shoot, you know what I'm saying, am I overfeeding this thing or this, that, and the other? Because I just always had in my head that if they want to eat, they're good. Like I'm of the same thinking of like Josh when it comes to ball pythons. Contrary to what Elias said, no, I don't think they're the smartest animals in the world. but
That shit had me rolling.
Right. I do though. Like if they come out to me and they want to eat, and I still got rodents in the bucket that's left, then I do generally I'm throwing it in there with them, and if it's the right size for them, then you know. But
And
I do.
I don't
Go
want
ahead.
to start like a beef between the pet world and the breeder world, but I do feel like the view on feeding frequency, what's overfeeding, what's power feeding, what's not. I believe the views in those two different realms are totally different, right?
Yes.
Because if you like, I remember when I first got in, like one of the first places I started making actual, I ain't gonna say connections with people, but like joining Facebook groups and stuff like that, and just reading that because I was trying to learn as much as I could and see what others who work with these animals were saying, and the stuff that I read in those groups drastically different
Yeah.
than what I read and what I converse with breeders about and stuff like that. Like it's two totally different mindsets. And
Yes.
I think there's I think it's for good reason, obviously, because again, two different mindsets trying to achieve two different outcomes in most cases, I think. But if you talk to the people in the pet community, they'll tell you that we all overfeed and we all just try to rush them and we just
Yeah.
pack them. That's all we try to do. And we keep them in those shoe boxes and blah, 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 blah. But still you buying the ball pythons from somebody.
Right. Yeah, and it's like you said when you brought up the GOAT, King James earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like he when you know what I'm saying when you brought up the one and only, like or even like you know what the craziest thing I ever heard about an athlete was Michael Phelps' diet. And his diet during his training for the Olympics and all that stuff. And this dude used to take in 10,000 calories a day, like easy. You
That's
know what I'm
crazy.
saying? When the average recommendation for a human being is 2,000, you know what I'm saying? This dude is eating 5 times that, but he looks like, you know what I'm saying, like one of them worms off Men in Black, like that. You know what I'm saying? Like different purposes, you know what I'm saying? And it takes, you know, a different intake for the output that you want. And when you're not breeding an animal,
Didn't
like,
he get into something for like smoking? Michael Phelps?
I'm sure he was doing. I'm sure he was doing something. I don't even know. He
had
might
to
have
get the
been
munchies.
snorting some stuff.
He had to
You
get
know.
the munchies.
Yeah, you know. But I'm
That's
sure
a
he was
lot.
smoking
10,000
too.
calories. That's a
Yeah.
lot. I'm not Yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's a
10,000.
lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of calories. But when you're burning it off the way that he is, well, my daughter. True story. Just got a job last week. Man, I'm so proud of her. She's 15. Just got her first job. And it's like a mile away from the house, but it's at a not a resort, but it's like I don't even know what to do. But basically, it's a golf course. It got a golf course and it got a clubhouse and it got a swimming pool, all this kind of stuff. You know, nice restaurants over there. And so she works at the swimming pool. And so she got us, you know what I'm saying, her first few days in there, she bring the whole family in there for free. We in there swimming. And they got like a 50-meter wide pool. Man, I swam 15 laps in that thing and I almost died. Like I came home afterwards and just went to sleep, couldn't move. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing when it comes to feeding these animals, especially ones that are breeding. These females are burning energy sitting there building follicles.
Yeah.
And we don't know how much energy necessarily that they're burning unless, you know, some scientist has figured that out, like how many calories they're actually burning trying to feed these follicles. But
and then after they lay, like a lot of times,
yeah,
or it can be rough on them. You know what I mean? Like they drop some weight or whatnot.
Yeah.
And so you got to feed them a little bit extra to get them back to baseline.
Yeah, yeah. I think the only thing that stopped me also once from like feeding is because I personally hate when it's one of my ball pythons does skip a week. I'd be like, come on, girl, stop playing. You gonna you know what I'm saying? So like I'll feed like 2 or 3 and then I'll be like, okay, now I'm cutting you off because I don't want to fill you up so much that you can't digest. And then next week you just letting the rat run around in there and kick wood all over the place. And then I got to come in there and clean out all that nonsense. But yeah.
So what's your advice? Like if you could wrap it up for somebody, what's your advice for somebody maybe new to the game? Let's have 2 people. Person A is a pet person, and then person B is looking to get into breed. Like, what's your advice for them when determining how to dictate how often to feed their animals?
Yeah. Oh man. If you're a pet person, I would do like I did earlier today, and I would ask ChatGTP. I think that advice they gave.
I gotta stop you right there, man.
Oh,
GPT.
Oh, GTP.
GPT.
Oh shoot! You know what I'm saying? Whatever the name is, whatever it is.
When I go talk to Gigi later on, she was like, "You gonna let me like that?"
Oh shoot! Oh man! No, I'll be like, no. I mean, if it's a pet person, I'd be like, look, man. Especially if it's a baby, you know, do you watch a few YouTube videos, but feed that baby to put some weight on that baby every week. You know what I'm saying? That offer a meal every week. Maybe not when it's in shed, but at least every week, offer that baby a meal. If it's a breeder coming in, and it's, you know, it's somebody, because I want everybody to be successful, because I think that's how you keep it going. I don't want a breeder to come in. I don't want a breeder to come in and then be like, oh shoot, I've been in this for 2 years and 3 years and my female still ain't, you know what I'm saying, nowhere. They at 1,100 grams and this, that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell a breeder straight up, like, hey, feed your animals. You know what I'm saying? If she look hungry, feed her. If she, you know, if she look like she want another one, feed her. You know, like I said, I'm like Josh when it comes to that. Like when they done eating, they kind of just will curl up in the corner and leave the rodent alone on the other side, and you know what I'm saying, and they'll be done. But you know, I'm gonna feed you if you're hungry, and I would tell that to a new breeder. Feed them, and not necessarily for a race for dollars. Everybody always thinks dollars. Like the joy I get from that clutch pippin today, or yesterday, and that, or no, 2 days ago, and that baby finally coming out the egg today, and all that comes from, I had to feed that female in order for her to, like, it's not about that. I don't get that joy of hatching that new clutch if I'm not feeding you know what I'm saying, the way that I'm feeding. So, you know, for me, it's never been about, like, I do got some animals that I produce and I'm like, oh yeah, let me get these guys up to size. I need this male breeder next year. I get that, but there's also that joy in just a simple aspect of breeding, man, and that part you got to remember as well. It's not, you know, I do want to pay the bills that these things cost me, but at the same time, I do love cutting open the egg and seeing something in there that I've never made before. So, what would your advice be to them?
Yeah, for the pet person, obviously, like I said, it's 2 different spaces. Like their wants and needs a lot different than the wants and needs of breeders, right? And so you can get away with feeding less often because you don't. I mean, I've had ball pythons go on food strikes for months, and they were just fine, and they got back on food, and it was like nothing, right?
Yeah.
And so you can get away with feeding a ball python less often, right? But if you're breeding, obviously you've got goals, right? And so you have to balance your project goals, your financial goals, your health goals of the animal. Like, you have to balance all that stuff. And so you kind of got to find what works for you. There
Yeah.
is incentive to get your animal to size quicker. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with actually, you know what I'm saying, acting on those incentives by feeding your animals a little bit more. Just don't take it overboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I have seen some animals, like, you can tell they were power fed. Like, you see the picture, you scroll by on IG, and the thing just all like crazy, like a sausage, like it's crazy. You've seen it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's not just like when they got to poop, like it's like that natural. That's how their animal is every time they show it. Like, maybe just got to poop every time they show it. I don't know, but just don't go crazy with it. Like, use some common sense.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, and it's all up to, you know, the Ivory holder and your interpretation of what the power feeding is. Because at the end of the day, these are your animals, and like people have said on here multiple times, you invest 4,000, 5,000 in a female, that's your investment. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying? That's your investment, and
You fighting to get that girl up size because you need a clutch. And I mean, we see how projects do.
yeah, oh yeah. Projects, they here one day and you blink and they gone the next day. Take a nap
Right.
and it's a whole new project out there, and they ain't got nothing to do with the one you just bought into. You know, so yeah, I definitely, you know, I agree. I mean, I feel like
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. What Josh talking about. Like, it just look off.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like,
yeah. When they don't have a neck, you know what I'm saying? Like a snake is supposed to have a neck, guys. The dude got a neck. So, man, how many females do you guys breed? Did you guys this year? What percentage? The season ain't over for me yet. Man, you send me a message, like DM me, because I don't want to lie on here and tell you the number and be lying, because I want to say that I actually paired like 30 girls, but I'm really only expecting like 15 to 20, because a lot of those, 10 of them are first year girls that I produced in house, and they may go, they may not go, but they was all, you know, they hit that 2-year mark, and they may go, they may not. They may wait till this fall to go.
yeah, as far as like this year for me, this year really just getting started for me breeding, because I got a really late I really got a late season. But in past years, so last year I had about what, 18, 19 clutches, something like that.
Yeah.
Probably paired, I don't know, 28 to 30 girls, something like that. I don't know. I'm pulling numbers out of the air. I would be able to get the better numbers by looking at my records. But roundabout there, like it's close enough for reptile work.
Yeah. I'd have to look mine up, but definitely hit me up if you want to know the exact numbers. But I mean, I would say somewhere between 75-80% of my girls go that I breed, because I don't breed that many. So it's really easy for me to focus on making sure they go. You know, if I was breeding 100 girls, I'm sure, you know, maybe 60 of them would go, because you're not into, you know, you may miss a lock, an important lock that they need or whatever, missing some follicular growth, and then you miss that window on her, and now she's reabsorbing. But yeah, I mean, and even with that, with the whole feeding aspect, that doesn't guarantee that your female is going to breed when you want her to.
Nah,
I got 2 girls right now. One will be laying her second clutch here in a little bit, and her sister, and I made both of them. Her sister still ain't went for me yet, and she's sitting at like 1,900 grams, 1,900, 200, 2,000 grams. Not big enough, old enough. She just, you know.
That spot nose Mojave double head hopper clown that I got from you, like,
Yeah.
probably like 4 years ago now.
Yeah. Well, 3. It should be on. Yeah, because that sister to that just laid her first clutch this year.
Was it her first clutch this year?
Yeah.
I'm hoping she gives me her first clutch this year or later this year too.
Yeah. It was her first one.
Yeah. and she huge. She like 3,000 grams.
Yeah, yeah. The same way with her. And the crazy, I mean, that's way bigger. The mom ain't that big. The mom was the Mojave Hypo you sent back to me.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah,
want her to do like her mama,
yeah.
because her mama, like, she just be
Her
right
way.
in. And I was hopeful. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you probably gonna be just like your mom. Nah, nowhere near.
Oh shoot, she just like her mama out there in them streets.
Yeah, and
Man.
her mama ain't even that big. Like you say,
No, no.
like she give probably about to get 7 eggs, and she give them to you quick.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, real quick, real quick. Yeah, and you know what, Kane, you got me thinking. I just got to find the female that I want to do it with, and I'm gonna try to feed her every 2 weeks and see. So what I would be curious to know with that way of feeding, I've never sat down with Billy and been able to ask Billy. Once that female starts to build follicles, are you still feeding her only once every 2 weeks? I would really like to know an honest answer on that, because that part I just don't know. Uh, I don't know. That part I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to know the answer on that. Like, I understand feeding every 2 weeks a nice size meal to give you a nice big plump, and then let it digest it for 2 weeks. But when it's breeding season, are you still only feeding once every 2 weeks? So
Yeah, like even if I was still doing that, like running that experiment during breeding season, I would not be feeding like that. I would be feeding way more often than that.
yeah,
Like
I just
every
feel like
week.
they want
Sure.
way more during breeding season than
Right, because they need it, right? Because they
yeah,
need that. They need those calories. They need those nutrients. They need all that to go
yeah.
through that full cycle, and so you need to support that.
Oh, okay. So he said he still does.
Even during breeding. And how does that work for you?
Yeah.
We need to just drop him the link instead of just
Right. Yeah. Hop on in here real quick and explain to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because the rest of the ball python world is feeding 3-4 times a week. I'm gonna tell you that.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, man. You got anything else on this topic?
Nah, man. I mean, I'm good, man. It's been a joy. It's been a joy watching the comments. It's been good. The whole conversation has been great. Good topic to get into, because it's, definitely talked about within the hobby, you know, in secret, and we want to bring some of them Illuminati secrets out to the open. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So
All right, man. Like I said, great episode. Appreciate everybody sliding through tonight. All the support. Big shout out to Kane. All your comments, and appreciate the super chat, man. Appreciate all the love y'all been sharing us. But that's gonna do it for this Saturday's episode of Double Clutch. Make sure y'all show Takar some love too, man. Big shout
yes,
out
sir.
to Takar, man.
Been
All
killing it on the comments today, sis.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
sir. Yes, sir. Should be right on time with it. Right on time. I'm sorry, I got distracted by Miggy's comment. The comment's still coming, man. Y'all
What did
killing it in
Miggy
the
say?
comment.
Oh,
I would love to know the impetus behind only feeding twice a week. I surely hope it's not monetary. So we talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show, and Josh gonna be mad because we didn't give him a recap, and I apologize, Josh. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show. The way I remember Billy's story was he had ran into an issue with his rodent supply, and so he couldn't get rodents consistently, and so he was only getting them every other week, and so he was like panicking and whatnot, like, oh man, they ain't gonna be able to feed. But then he noticed that his snakes were eating more consistently, and I think he said they were growing better too, is what he said. And so from there, Billy was really advocating for like the every other week method, like 10 to 14 days method.
yeah.
Just saying, man.
I'm like I said, I'm gonna pick a female, and I'm gonna try. I will say this: it would be so much easier if I'm only feeding rodents once a week, or feeding snakes once every other week. Because boy, I tell you, it's time consuming going out to the pull rodents every week and come in and feed, and it's time consuming. So, maybe I would just throw shoot. I don't know. Maybe that one weekend I'm feeding. They everybody getting full for that 1 week though to hold them over for 2 weeks.
That's why I skip a week from time to time, because it is time consuming to do it, and it's a good opportunity to give some snakes a week off, and it's a good opportunity to give myself a week off.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a win-win. We all winning here. We all winners here.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's gonna be it for tonight, man. For Double Collect on Mike, this is the homie Matt. Big shout out to the lovely lady behind the scenes, the car. Thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, you can't be beat. Double clutch with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with